welcome to GodCenter. Today we have a very special guest, so we're going to head on over to that interview. Let's go. Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of GodCenter. In this episode, y'all, we are going to be joined by Christian gospel artist extraordinaire, Kieran Sims. Yes. Thank you so much, Kieran. I want you to introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are, what you represent. Let the people know.
Well, I'm Kieran. Thank you for having me today. I'm excited to just hang with you and chat with you a little bit. I'm Kieran. I'm a Christian artist as well as a worship pastor at my church at Faith Family Church in Baytown. And I've been writing music for a little bit and had the privilege of being able to record it and do a little traveling. And I love music and I love food. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. Music and food, that's my thing.
Awesome. Yes, that is my thing as well. So I love food. And if y'all can't hear the accent, he is a Trinidadian man. He's a Caribbean man. So now I have a few questions. So when did you respond to the call of God for music on your life?
So I would say when I was 11 years old, I first started singing, and I realized I could sing. Well, I would say when I was 8, but 11 years old was when I started singing at church.
Okay.
And from there, I kind of realized I kind of love this thing. Been around music all my life, okay. And but there was a real connection that day at church, and I think from there I kind of realized, okay, this is something I think I could do forever. So I think 11 years old was the day was the age I finally kind of just received that call and ran with it.
Awesome. That is wonderful. That is so awesome. Now, you have Trinidadian roots, yes. But were you born there or were you born in Texas? Tell us about that.
So I was born here and I was raised in Trinidad. Okay. And came back and was raised here as well. So I kind of got the best of both worlds a little bit there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, but you also sing in Spanish. So how did that come about? So you're fluent in Spanish. How did that come about?
So my great-grandmother is from Venezuela, which is 6 miles off the coast of Trinidad.
Yes.
So I got to hear a little bit of Spanish here and there throughout the house. I guess when she was mad at me majority of the time, you hear a little Spanish come out. You hear a little Trinidadian come out as well. You know, it's a combination of both. But here in Baytown, I also served at a bilingual church. And that forced me to learn the language and learn how to read it and pronounce the words. And then from there, I just really submerged myself into the culture. And I realized that, man, like, I love culture. I love just being able to just, connect with other races and ethnicity and just culture, period. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to, I felt like this was something that God wanted me to do. And so I dove in, and that's a part of who I am.
Okay, awesome. That is super cool. So how has your culture influenced your music style?
I think what I love about my culture is just its freedom and how expressive it is when it comes to the food, when it comes to fashion, when it comes to music, when it comes to just having a good time overall. Then when it comes to just like devotion to God, I was actually raised Catholic, which is so weird. However, I learned how to have reverence for God in all that I do from that. And my grandmother would pray every day over us and taught us how to pray morning, evening, and night, or noon and night. And that really helped structure something on the inside of me. Well, when it comes to that side of things, it really infiltrated itself into my music. Because I love to express freedom. I love to express just being original. And I love just the colors. I love being able to just have all these different things and express myself with my lyrics and in my sound. So I think it's definitely the freedom side of things, and it just being bold and to just go for it. That really helped influence my music today.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I made sure I wore some, represent the flag.
That's right.
I wore some red. Some white, I'm black here.
You're doing it right,
All of the colors.
You're doing it right. You're doing it right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So now, you recently were featured on TBN with a few other gospel greats. like Jacqueline Carr.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
that is so amazing. How was that experience?
That was special. I felt like last year was a crazy year, but for God to still just show that He's working things out even when it doesn't look like it, and He's still opening. Like first off, He's the opener of doors. So for Him to do that and come through for me and create a platform for something I've been watching all my life and being inspired by artists, and for a crazy year to end off with me having the opportunity to do this. I think that was super special. More than anything, it just helped me realize that, like, man, if God's called you for something, if He's gonna call you for it, He'll open up the doors for it, no matter what it looks like. And for me, it was just honestly like a moment where I was super grateful and grateful. And I'm just like, God, like you're something else. You're moving. You're talking about me in rooms that I never thought I'd be in, and I was blown away by it.
That is so beautiful. Yeah, we serve an awesome, great, and all-powerful God. So
Yes.
there's nothing He can do. So
yes, ma'am.
I see that I mean, your platform is just continuing to grow. You travel sometime and you're singing in Spanish. You're on TVN. So, can you give us a glimpse of what your plans are for this future that we're going into 2021? What can we expect from Kieran Sims? What can we expect to see coming from you?
Yes, ma'am. So I really felt like, I felt, called to do more Spanish music. Also more, even more like to influence my culture a little bit as well. So I see myself like positioning myself for more international things. I really feel that in my heart. I want to do a little fashion. So which is something that I never thought I'd really like just run into. I've been doing merch for a while, and I just realized that, I spend so much money buying all these clothes, because you have to for stage and all these different things. And I was like, I want to just create something that allows me to, I don't know, have more of a higher class merchandise where people can have access to as well. So that's something that I'm running with this year, as well as writing more music. I think another project will come out this year as well.
That is amazing. I'm loving this, Kieran. I'm loving it. Do you have a name for your line that's going to be coming out, or what you got? What? Cause we want to be looking. We want to be anxiously like. No, we're not supposed to be anxious, but I'm excited. So my eyes on.
Yes,
looking out for. So any name for the brand or anything?
Yeah. Heightened Sense and Kieran. So it's I want to call it Heightened Senses because you're basically, when you're in God's presence. It's not going to be a Christian brand. However, it's backed by a Christian, Christian person and influence. And I wanted that to be when you're in God's presence, you're at a place where you're at the heightened sense. Heightened your senses, and you're awake, you're alive, and you're experiencing the fullness of God, but also like the fullness of He's experiencing the fullness of you. And so I wanted that to be the name of the clothing. And Kieran, because a good friend of ours was really like, you can't just exclude yourself out of your branding and out of what you're trying to do. So I'm now like, okay, I'm going to partner with all that God has for me in this season. And I'm enjoying that process as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. I am ultra excited to see more of you this year for sure, in more ways than one. I want to see you. I want to actually see you in person.
Yes.
I want to see you. I want to hear, from more music from you. And I'm just excited. And then this fashion line. So there's a lot going on this year, and I'm here for it. And I just want to encourage you to continue on and be strong in the Lord and the power of His might. You're doing an amazing job, and I'm just going to be praying for you that you continue to soar as you have been. Yes, sir. So I'm going to make sure I include a link below to the Kieran Sims website where people can purchase your merch and also music and so forth, and they can check you out there. And if they're not following you, they can follow you. So so that is going to be it for this episode. Thank you so much again, Kieran, for visiting with us and just letting the people know what's going on. And this year is a year, I believe, that we're to rejoice in the Lord, that we are to give God some exuberant praise.
Come on.
I received that music is going to be part of it, you know, especially that music that's got some, you know, that
something on it.
Yes, put it on there. Put the Caribbean, put it on there. So you got the whole package. So I'm excited for that music. That sounds like maybe what David danced out of his clothes. Oh, I'm ready for it. So I'm ready to hear from you. That was such an awesome interview. I really enjoyed interviewing Kieran. I do hope that you guys check him out. I mean, he is one of those artists that I spoke to you about. No matter what your genre of music is, there's something out there. So Kieran has, you know, your contemporary gospel. He's got a lot of different things, and he has some new things coming. So definitely check him out. Again, I will include the link below, also to his merch, so y'all can represent, you know, your faith with merchandise from Christian artists that have really just put their hearts into the clothing that they're making. So your clothing actually has meaning to it. So I think that's super cool. And we also here at GodCenter have merch. So that's a shameless plug there. So make sure that y'all also check out the GodCenter merchandise. So that is it for this episode of GodCenter. I will see you next time. But until then, be sure that you keep God at the center of all you do. Bye-bye.